Roofing contractor sues tenant, not even a homeowner, for $112,000 and immediately receives huge backlash. That's the story today. I'm gonna review it with you. We're gonna react to it together. And as always, we're gonna learn a couple lessons. If you're the homeowner, I'll give you my tips how to deal with a contractor in this situation. If you're the contractor, please watch to the end because there are valuable lessons for any contractors out there. Let's go.
When Autumn Nepper and Adam Marsh's roof started to leak in their Vancouver home a few months ago, their landlord sent over executive roof services to check it out. An employee came, looked in the attic, and said there were a few spots to fix.
I asked him about a timeline about when this might get finished. He told me to call the office the next day.
Autumn said she called the office and talked with the receptionist.
She was extremely rude from the time that she answered the phone, and she refused to give me any information. She said I would have to get it from the landlord. I asked to speak with the...
So first thing first, we're not dealing even with the homeowner, we're dealing with the tenant. And tenant has issues, so they live in a house, they want to know what is going on, they have a leak, they have the right to know, things about the schedule. It's inconvenience when you have roof repaired, you have to let people in, out. If you have a leak, you're probably putting buckets or you have wet ceiling. All you're doing is just you call and say, hey, when are you coming in? What's the next step? So far pretty reasonable. And I did my research on a roofing company. Look like good guys. They have over 100 reviews on Google. Recently, they got a lot of one-star reviews. Actually, this story I believe contributed to those negative reviews, and we'll talk about it at the end, but let's see what actually took place here.
I asked to speak with the manager and she laughed at me. She told me I was verbally abusing her and that she was the office manager, and she hung up on me.
Then Adam said he called Executive Roof Services.
Again, she was just super rude, told me that she was the office manager, no one else I could talk to, and hung up on me.
So what we're really dealing here is bad customer service. If someone calling your business, they want to talk to management. They're pissed for whatever reason. I always say customers always right. Is customer always right? No. But as a business owner, you have to be nice. You don't have to do what homeowner, or in this case tenant or someone, is asking you to do, but you don't have to be rude. You don't have to send them away. Just listen to their story, pass them somewhere else. And it looks like what's happening here is this manager says, nope, boxed out right here. I'm the manager, you're not gonna pass me. And they have few phone calls and she's rude to both husband and wife.
Were you guys mean to this woman?
Not any more than you would, maybe get a little frustrated with someone being super rude to you.
Autumn then wrote a one-star Google review about the receptionist, saying the woman who answered was rude and would not give them a timeline of events.
So I was upset that I was even spoken to like that they refused to even talk to me.
Was it truthful?
Yeah, absolutely.
Adam also left a one-star review.
So here's actual review. So we tried to call to get information on an estimate we requested, and we're told we couldn't get that information. We requested to speak with the manager and the woman whose name I think she said was Michelle the first time, but refused to give me her name again. Literally laughed and said, I'm the office manager. So we said we need to handle this the right way, or we would call Better Business to file a complaint. She hung up and then she called back, leaving a threatening voicemail. Are you kidding? So unprofessional. I called Advanced Roofing and he responded promptly and in a timely manner, and we are using his service now. I do not recommend Executive Roof Service at all. So what's happening here, she writes the review about her experience, and experience is all about this phone call and someone being rude. She's not bashing them, she just shares experience, and rightfully so. If you're rude to your customer, you should know that this is the price you're going to be paying. So they're not going to take you to court. They're not going to fight you, but at the very least, they can share their experience, and I think they can do that.
Timeline of events.
So I was upset that I was even spoken to like that they refused to even talk to me.
Was it truthful?
Yeah, absolutely.
Adam also left a one-star review. Then Autumn says the owner of Executive Roof Services called her.
He told me that he knew where I lived. He said he had forensics guys, and that he would gladly spend $100,000 suing me. He texted me threatening, saying that they needed to be taken down before more damages are done. I called the police immediately to file a report. The policeman called the business owner and told him he needed to stop.
So what's happening now, it's escalating quickly. We have 2 reviews now, and I understand how frustrating for the business owner. Trust me, when you get 1-star review, it's hard. It's hard on business. Now he's getting 2 reviews, but if you follow the story so far, she said that manager threatened her, when she called back, and now we have business owner threatening her as well, to the point where police is getting involved. We have police report, we're documenting everything. I kind of like this couple because they have their ground covered. They call the police, they do the report. People who make up stuff don't do that, right? So now it's escalated. It looks like business owner reacts. He thinks he's a big shot, he has money to spend. Obviously, they're not even homeowners, probably, tenants haven't paying their rent. So now he's coming after them.
They thought the officer's call was the end of it. Then the couple received demand letters telling them to take down the reviews.
We assume this is ridiculous. You're just trying to scare us into taking these reviews down. They're honest. We're not going to do that.
Autumn and Adam were then served with a lawsuit. Executive Roof Services was suing them for defamation and, quote, intentional interference with business expectancy. The couple was being sued for $112,000 in...
So this is a crazy part here, $112,000. How do you come up with the value of that? First thing what I want to say here, just because you can sue someone, just because you can damage them, does not mean that you have to. And in business world, it's actually happening more and more. We see big players, big companies coming after smaller one. I experienced it myself. We've done videos when we get cease and desist. First, they're gonna try to scare you, and then they're gonna sue you. And it's funny how the numbers are, like 112,000. Why not 100? You have to calculate your damages. I remember when I've been sued for $1.2 million. Big company wanted to pay me over $1 million. How do you come up with that? Why not 500? Why not 800? Why not million? Why is it always 1 and a little bit more? Very interesting. Let's see how it ends.
Dollars and $28,000 per week.
$28,000 per week for 2 reviews about you being rude? Good luck.
I can't afford a lawyer. I can't afford to pay $112,000, and I don't want to file for bankruptcy.
Do you think this man's business was hurt?
No, I don't.
David Bowser represents Executive Roof Services, or ERS.
The first thing I think your viewers need to understand is that my client is not suing one of its customers for leaving a bad review. That's not what's going on here.
Bowser said Autumn and Adam did not hire ERS. The landlord did. He said they were not entitled to the information they were requesting, a project report and timeline.
All right, here's what I have to comment on. Yes, there are not homeowners, but they're living in the house, and the work is being done, and they want to know what is going on. Wherever the case is, you live in the house. Yes, you might say you're not entitled, and you might be right, but there's several different ways you can answer. You can say, nope, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm sorry. You don't threat people. You don't tell them how big you are and you're manager and this and that. Just be nice about it. I'm sorry, ma'am, I cannot help you. We have a policy. Have your landlord call us or whatever. You are in business, and business means customer service. And if you have a bad customer service, if you're rude to your customers, you will be punished. You will be punished with bad reviews. You will be punished with lack of referrals. People not going to refer you to their friends and family if you're rude to them.
He said they were not customers or clients of ERS. Whether they're paying customers or not, shouldn't they be entitled to write about their experience? They said the receptionist was rude.
It depends why they did that. If they were doing it merely to express their opinion, that's what other customers have done in the past. I
freaking hate this guy. Absolutely hate this guy. Typical lawyer. He just said, yeah, if they would share their experience, it would be fine. Well, yeah, if they would write 5-star review, that would be probably fine. But saying that you are rude It's okay. It's experience too, and it's not 5-star review, it's 1-star review, and you have to live with it.
I don't have an issue with that. ERS doesn't have an issue with that. But when you cross the line and you use this forum to cause intentional harm to a family-owned business and hurt them and their employees and their business, you've crossed the line.
How did they intentionally harm ERS? By writing about a rude receptionist?
They intentionally harmed ERS by posting 1-star reviews for the purpose of getting that report they weren't entitled to.
I mean, these guys, like, they intentionally hurt the business by writing one. No, you write the review because you write the review. You entitled for that. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, obviously, if everybody writes 1-star reviews, and if the business runs, listen, there's many 1-star contractors. How people will know that they are 1-star contractors if nobody will share 1-star reviews? Intentional or not, yeah, those reviews will put them out of business. But it's not the people who write reviews putting them out of business. It's their practice. You have a bad service, you don't care about your customers, you have a bad product, you will be driven from the market. Yes, it will hurt your business, but not because of reviews, because of why those reviews are written. What is it that you're doing that people are hating you? What is it that you're doing? You're rude to your customers, you will get 1-star reviews. Shame on you. Look at a mirror. Why are you getting those reviews? Stop attacking people for writing them.
Hauser points to another review, a complaint filed by Adam with the Better Business Bureau, where ERS has an A+ rating. Adams filed this complaint around the same time as the Google reviews. It states, quote, "The business came to do an inspection of the roof of our residence and refuses to give us any details about the findings or scheduling of repairs to us, the tenants."
Now, all they want is tell us what's happening. We live in this property. We want to know when we're going to be home, what is going to be done on the house we're living. I mean, you don't know their situation. Maybe they're renting it to own. Maybe they've been renting it for 5 years. Who knows? It's their house. I can imagine you're living, you have kids or no kids, doesn't matter. It's your house, it's your castle. And you have a problem with it, and people are about to come in. You're telling me you cannot ask when people is coming? Even the tenants, you still can ask. Okay, you're not gonna get information. You know, let's say you call Comcast and wanna ask for a bill, and they're like, I mean, it happens all the time, right? You know, if my wife calls Comcast and she's not on account, they're not gonna talk to her, but they're not gonna be rude about it, threat her that she cannot call. Politely, they're gonna say, no, we have to talk to your husband, or in this case, you have to talk to your landlord, or we're going to give it to your landlord. But you cannot be rude and definitely cannot threat people.
Hauser said this proves they wrote the reviews in order to get the report. Adam said the Better Business Bureau never posted the complaint because the couple did not hire ERS.
This document shows what their intent was, and that their intent was improper.
I talked to Paul Levy about the case. He's an attorney with the Public Citizen Litigation Group in Washington, D.C. Levy said when it comes to negative reviews, as long as the reviews are truthful, the person who wrote it should be protected.
I think the business has a lot to lose by litigating that, by trying to frame this as a defamation case. The problem is that the business has the money and the couple don't.
Levy said Autumn and Adam got hit with a SLAPP lawsuit. SLAPP stands for Strategic Lawsuit Against Public Participation. SLAPPs are used to silence critics by forcing them to spend money to defend a lawsuit.
And this is very interesting. I absolutely love this. Happens actually a lot. It happens in the roofing industry. Sometimes companies are suing you just because they can sue you. This is exactly what's happening. This company knows that these people don't have money, and yet they're doing it because what are you gonna do? And so many roofers actually said that they're not gonna talk about quality of shingles or quality of product because they don't wanna get sued. They don't have money. That's SLAPP.
Many states have laws protecting consumers from SLAPP filings. Washington state had one of the strongest anti-SLAPP laws in the country, but it was deemed unconstitutional in 2015 after the state Supreme Court ruled it violated a person's right to a jury trial. New anti-SLAPP legislation was just passed in Washington called the Uniform Public Expression Protection Act, but it does not go into effect until July 25th.
This is actually very interesting. So it's brand new law. I did not know about it, kind of missed it July 25th. Pretty much what it says that if you don't have money and someone is suing you to take a review down, take a video down, a YouTube video down, comparison video, whatever, they're trying to shush you. Now you have Uniform Public Expression Protection Act, and it's brand new law. I remember when I got sued first time in 2015, it was absolutely crazy. And, you know, I had to sign the paperwork and paid, even if I knew I wasn't guilty. I stood my ground, but I knew that I had to do it to stop the bleeding because I could not afford the legal fees back in the day. This would come helpful.
Autumn and Adam were sued at the end of June. Bowser maintains this is not a SLAPP filing.
That's not what a SLAPP lawsuit is. Or a SLAPP is a motion. This is a lawsuit.
Okay.
The lawsuit asserts claims for defamation and for intentional interference with business expectancies.
So this is not trying to silence someone because of something negative they said?
Not something that they legitimately had a basis to give an opinion on.
This guy is full of shit. I rarely say it, but this lawyer is full of shit. I hate everything about him.
While Levy believes the couple could win in court, they still need to pay an attorney. And when the couple set up a GoFundMe to raise money for an attorney, they were again sent cease and desist letters by the company.
By the way, happened to me too. I didn't start it, but back in the day, people in our community started a GoFundMe to support me when I got sued years ago. Thank you guys. Never will forget what you've done for me. And sure enough, mention of that GoFundMe had to go away. Absolutely crazy.
With my life, I just don't want my future completely destroyed by something so small. Like, this is obviously a man who is well off and can afford to do this, and I can't afford to fight it, and I think he knows that.
Okay, let's talk to Kristen for just 1 second. First of all, fascinating story, but it does seem to me that it all would have gone away if they would have just deleted those reviews. Is that true?
I mean, there was a time, where the business said, look, they sent those letters, they said take down the reviews, but the couple said this was the truth. They said these were truthful reviews and they were not going to take down something they said, happened to them.
Okay, well, what happens now?
Court. We'll see how this plays out in court.
Got it. Kristen, thank you.
You bet.
And I absolutely agree with it. Sometimes you have this inner drive to do what's right. If you know you didn't do nothing wrong, why would you accept or take down a review and stuff? It's just wrong, right? But this is not the end. This is the backlash on the business, and this is how the story ends.
First brought you last night on The Story at 6 o'clock. A Vancouver couple is getting sued for more than $100,000 after leaving one-star reviews about a roofing company. The couple wrote a Google review about their bad experience with Executive Roof Services, which their landlord hired to inspect a leaky roof. They said the receptionist was rude to them and wouldn't answer questions about the project. When they didn't take down the reviews, the company filed a lawsuit against them.
Honestly, I cried immediately. I was terrified. Afford to pay $112,000, and I don't want to file for bankruptcy.
And Kristen, this is a lot of people are talking about this.
Oh yes, I think it's been the most read story on our website now all day. And I have a few updates for you. So first, the state of Washington has a new law protecting consumers from lawsuits like this, but it does not go into effect until this Sunday, until July 25th. Now, it's supposed to protect your right to speak out either in person or online as long as it's truthful. I interviewed the co-sponsor of that legislation, Washington State Senator Mike Patton.
And it's a way of shutting down public expression, which I think is why our legislature was virtually unanimous in passing this.
All right, now let's talk about the couple getting sued from my story last night. So they have raised thousands of dollars for an attorney through a GoFundMe page. They're also talking with at least 2 attorneys today who may take the case pro bono. As for the roofing company, so their attorney says that they sued the couple because they were intentionally trying to harm the company. I also spoke with the owner of Executive Roof Services today by phone. He told me his company has received a slew of one-star reviews and threats over this. He said he's had to take his business offline. He would not tell me, though, if he still plans to go through with the lawsuit.
And this is exactly what happened. This is why this story is absolutely amazing. It's pretty much Streisand Effect. It still works. After the story aired, people found out about it. And this is what bullies want to do. They want to shush you. They don't want you to talk to anyone, because once it airs, there's something in us that wants to protect the weak. You know, just because the company can sue and go after you does not mean it's the right thing. But people always will go and protect and defend and combine, because think about this. They don't have the money. They don't have the power. They didn't do nothing wrong. And this is where we all unite. It's Streisand Effect at its best. People united, they went, and I've seen it way too many times. If you Google or YouTube Streisand Effect, you will see business after business after business. Story breaks out and people just go and trust. I remember when I did a review in 2015 and I shared my story with one of the manufacturers, and I remember my rep calling me, he's like, Dmitry, we are getting calls from contractors in Kansas City saying they will not install our shingles or if the story is true. That's what happens. And by the way, if you Google my name, look below how I spell it, Google my name, and you will see my fights that, you know, I can't talk about it. I cannot talk about legal actions, but it's there. You will find it. And the truth is, the truth will always prevail. Business will get what they deserve. In this case, it was instant karma moment. I would give advice to the business owner to stop that practice. What he had to do is to deal with that manager immediately. You're rude to my clients, you're rude to potential clients. Yeah, there are tenants today. Tomorrow they're gonna have a house. Who they gonna call for a re-roof? After this experience, not you. You have to look at everyone as potential clients. Okay, they ask you for the scheduling, for the estimate, they don't leave. Say you can't give it to them because of the policy. Even if they are rude to you, you still have to be nice to them because you are bigger, you're smarter, you have more money, you're more successful. Stop treating people like crap just because you have money. Very happy for this couple, very happy for the outcome. Looks like they stopped. They got a lot of reviews. They have to go offline. They got a lot of hate. Stories like this can break your business. You think you can go after one person in the community and destroy him, send him a couple cease and desist letters, and ask them to pay you $100,000 and it'll go away? Doesn't always go away. If a person wants to stand up for himself or herself, and if they have a community who supports them, you might be the loser. So, amazing story. Comment below what you think. Give it a like if you're happy for the outcome, how it all ended, and give it a dislike if you don't think that's how it should end it. Also, comment below what would you do if you would be in this situation as a business owner or maybe as a homeowner. Thank you guys so much for your attention. Let me know in the comments below if you like this kind of content, and I'll see you in the next video.